Doctor, attorney,
And now, the official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos.
Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
Well, crew, welcome to Peaks2Plains Weather on an interesting Friday. I am in Savannah, Georgia on a little bit of a business trip here, and you could probably hear it, but I think there's something is happening over there. I am not sure what it is. It's pretty wild. We've got a very, very interesting day of weather on the way here. So let's talk about it, because I have a couple of things that we want to make sure we talk about today, because there are so many things that are on the table here. I mean, it's March in Colorado. The storm is unstable. We've got a cold front coming in. It really is going to depend on where you are. So let's jump in here, and I've got a couple of different screens. Obviously, my setup is a little bit different than when I might have to be looking off to the side here to kind of keep track of a couple of things. But you can see on Tamco Live Doppler radar here that we have started to see showers blossom across the area over the last couple of hours. Not all of this is making it down to the ground yet, but for the areas that is not the case, that is going to change here through the course of the morning. So something to certainly be aware of here. And I am going to bounce in and out. So you give me a little bit of wiggle room today. This is not going to be as smooth as my production often is, but you know, this is kind of the first time doing it live, sort of on the road here, and so the next time I do this, it'll be a little bit better. But that's one of the cool things that we kind of get to do together is, you know, take weather coverage to the next level here, sort of into the future, and it's awesome to be doing this from Savannah today. possible across the area, at least in some spots. For other areas, that is not the case. So let me show you this here. Take you back to 24 hours ago, and you can see that we're a little bit cooler along the front range. As the front comes in over the plains, some areas are getting a little bit better mixing out east, and we're a little bit warmer than yesterday. But here's where we're at in terms of the temperatures this morning. 27 in Woodland Park, and you can see that the road is wet now, so we are getting some snow to start to fall across that area, and we've seen a little bit of snow stick on the sides already in Cascade this morning, where it is 24 degrees. Monument, we're starting to get some snow. When I was looking at this about 35 minutes ago, we weren't seeing that as of yet, and so we've started to see some of those showers begin to make a little bit of a difference here. And in Pueblo, it's 38 degrees. We're going to pop into the 40s here this morning. We do have some radar echo in the region. We're not seeing anything here at Wills currently this morning. And we kind of look off to the west or east here in Pueblo West, and you can see that we're able to see underneath those clouds a little bit. Canyon City, we're doing okay this morning, so again, it just kind of depends where you are. So let's talk about how things are going to play out today, because it is a really, really interesting and frankly a fun forecast. And I'm pretty excited about it, because it's one of those days where we're just going to get a little bit of everything out there. So you can see this system. Now, this is part of that system we've been talking about all week long, where it's splitting on the way in. We're going to end up with some energy way off to our southwest, but this first piece of energy here obviously holding together enough, and there's a little bit of a circulation indication with it. You can see that there in the southwestern corner of the state, that as it moves through here for the balance of the day, we're going to be in business. And you throw in the cold front that will be dropping south here through the day today. Those two things combine right up against the hills to make for some very, very interesting weather. So I think we do get above freezing here over the next couple of hours. I mean, we've been above freezing overnight in some areas. The warmest temps will be in the southeast corner where the front arrives last. And Baca County, you may not get much of anything today. There's a little bit of a dry slot that's probably going to clip you. So the farther north and west you are, not only is your terrain higher, but you're closer to the heart of the system. The cold front arrives first. And so Banjo's barometer today, he's going with where he is. He's in Colorado Springs. He doesn't like snow at all. Every now and then he pees in the house when there's some snow. Little Yorkies tend to do that. So he's going with a 1, but over the southeast corner, maybe a little bit better, and so he's aware of that. Here's what happens with the wind. That front is coming in from the north here through the day, and so we'll get some wind, especially over the eastern plains. some this morning as the front keeps coming in. But in the afternoon, as the upper level wave starts to move through and transition off to the east, and the front kind of accelerates south, the wind is going to pick up. So for those of us over the Palmer Divide, where we have that increase in elevation, we have some of the stronger gusts this afternoon, maybe on the order of 30 to 40 miles per hour. And the temperatures are dropping and the snow characteristics change from a wet snow to an airier type snow. May have some blowing and some drifting to contend with. That's one of the things that, is a little bit of a concern here for travel as we head into the afternoon. So the storm moves in from the west, the front's dropping in from the north, and we'll just continue to see the precipitation expand kind of off to the southeast here through the course of the morning. I've been trying to tell you for the last few days, terrain is going to play a really, really important role with this one because of the temperature profile, how warm it's been as of late. And so, Pueblo, we may end up with a rain-snow mix. Canyon, we probably get a wet snow. To the east of Pueblo, it's probably rain unless you get a thunderstorm. And you might. Thunderstorms will tend to drop the snow level on a kind of local basis, and you see some thunderstorms being picked up here, kind of to the east of Pueblo where that darker green is this afternoon. That may switch things over to big wet flakes that might make the ground briefly white while the storm is moving overhead, and then I think we're probably okay as we head, after the storm moves through. I think that would melt really quick out over the eastern plains. But notice up over the Palmer Divide, it's still snowing in the early afternoon. Local mountain areas, it is still snowing. Ski resorts, it's still snowing. And here's that potential for convection, kind of right along the leading edge of the front and then over the mountains where the upper level system is. That really is a wild card in terms of snow. I mean, it's always can do some crazy things. So I'm not going to be shocked in particular over the eastern slopes of the wet mountains where we have the northeast wind behind the cold front coming in. Somebody gets a foot of snow. Certainly a possibility. I don't think most areas get that, but it's something to watch for. As we head into the late part of the day, and certainly into the evening, the intensity of the snow will start to pull back. With time overnight, we start to pull back on the coverage. And then into early Saturday morning, we're seeing things wind down really quick east of the mountains. And then over the mountains, we hang on to some snow showers for a while. The accumulation rate really starts to drop some, and by Saturday morning, I think we're okay. Here's another concern. Some of the roads that may be wet during the day today probably freeze up overnight. Keep in mind, bridges and overpasses do that first. But it's going to be cold enough that for those of us that get snow, if your roads are slushy or wet during the day, they'll ice up overnight. Obviously, the higher you are during the day today, especially up above about 8,000 feet, you're going to get some snowpack. There's no doubt about that. And then things will recover here as we head into tomorrow afternoon. This is one of those storms where, it's March now. Sun angle's getting higher. We're not too far away, a couple weeks from the vernal equinox that as we move into the weekend, we will see the snow melt off pretty quick, especially for lower elevations. It'll take a couple more days for mountain areas. So, how much snow are we expecting here? Well, I want to talk about that a little bit because I know everybody everybody wants to know how much snow we get. And that obviously is one of the things that I'm talking about. In fact, we've got El Chewy here wants to know, can you give me some information for snow down La Vida Pass and into the San Luis Valley? Yeah, we'll do that here, Chewy. We're going to talk about that. We're going to pop right into that part of the forecast. So let me get that all set up for you. And we'll break that down in detail here, because this is one of those situations where we need to do it in detail, because it's going to vary widely. And even some of the maps that I am showing you, you've got to give me some wiggle room because of that convection. Okay? So, I'm getting to those right now, and we're going to pop into it.